Thank you for staying with us. In other stories now, Ghana's west coast has for years been a safe haven for aquatic animals under threat of extinction like whales. But now the numbers, according to conservationists, are on the decline as heavy trawlers increase on the country's seas. In the small town of Cape 3 Point, there are efforts to reverse the killing of whales to promote tourism in the area. Joy News' Justice Bedu took a trip on the sea there to find the whales.
This is a video of a humpback whale recorded by tourists just off the coast of Busia in the western region. It shows the huge mammal jump several times, diving back into the ocean. Its heavy weight causes a splash. It is a sight to behold.
A lot of whales come to the shore here, especially between August and September. Around that time, the sea becomes warm. With that temperature, they come closer to the shore, and it is beautiful to watch.
Busia is one of the few places where whales still come to display like this at the shore in Ghana. But now they are dying, and in their numbers.
They're still here, but not as many as they used to come.
James Quayson has been a fisherman in Cape 3 Point for years. Last year, he left the job because his fish catch had dwindled so much, going to sea no longer made economic sense. Akwesi McLaren has been organizing whale watching tours in Cape 3 Point for years.
Different oil leaks coming from the oil and gas are definitely a threat. I've spoken to some people with the oil and gas, and they said, well, you know, with this kind of work, there's always a threat. After, it's a question of how quickly they can respond and contain the problems. Also, we have had some different trawlers that have happened in the past, which I've seen less activity of as of now, and the way that their fish catching techniques, which aren't necessarily following the legal practices, those kind of things can also be wounding, for example, the whales.
I am on the sea with people who still fish here, like 35-year-old John Yankee, trying to find a whale. We have been traveling for over an hour and already done 10 miles on the sea. We do not find any whales, to our disappointment. John says this is strange.
This is supposed to be the season for the whales to come around. We used to see them, but now the big trawlers and those who use lights are killing them, so they do not come again. Those practices have affected our own work as fishermen too.
Wow. Last year alone, more than 80 whales were found dead on the beaches of Axim, which is only a few kilometers away from Cape 3 Point. Local fishermen here fear their job is on the line, and along with it, the lives of many whales who used to be a spectacle to watch on these coasts. Justice Bedu, Joy News, on the seas in Cape 3 Point.
So why is this the case? Let's get on to Zoom now and talk to Che Yama, who's a convener for the Fisheries Alliance and a conservationist. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Now, how does this story come to you?
Yes, it doesn't come to me as a surprise. In the early 2000s, we started monitoring whales that are washing ashore and some activities that are also affecting whales. And we have indicated that due to these activities, if they are unchecked, we will have reduced numbers of whales as well. But let me say that before we appreciate the issue further, we need to understand why whales decrease in number and in the shore. There are certain periods that normally there are a lot of whales around. Ghana is a transit point for a lot of the whales moving from South Africa even to Britain. So at the period where they are moving, you are able to see some of them close to shore and others in that regard. But one of the major concerns that have happened in the past decade or so is the issue of dead whales washing ashore, or whales that are alive that are stranded. And we were quite concerned. Initially, fisher folks and fishing communities and stakeholders had no idea why the occurrence. Even we all understand that last year we have dolphins, that is malon-headed whales, that were washed ashore. The numbers were between 100 to 600 because a lot of them were unaccounted for. And there were some conditions that could have led to their washing ashore. So far, what we have been doing in the past close to 20 years is to form what we call network of monitors along the shore of Ghana, so that we are able to identify as soon as a whale is washed ashore. There are occasions where whales are washed ashore and they are not actually dead. Some community folks will want to pick them and then use them for meals, eat them. And these have its own negative effect and impact on health and others. So we have this network of monitors that alert us as soon as a whale was ashore, and then we are able to liaise with all the institutions that are available, Fisheries Commission, the Environmental Protection Agency, and even the research institutions. We've been working closely together with the University of Cape Coast to be able to follow up and then conduct some analysis as to what have happened to these whales. But let me add that most importantly, there are two major factors that lead to whales dying and washing ashore. We have the natural factors, and then we have the environmental factors. And the natural factors, of course, include old age, weakness, ailments or illness, infections, even malnutrition or starvation. Or sometimes, whales, when they find difficulty of giving birth and others, they are stressed out. They can come up landing ashore. And then we have the environmental factors. So the environmental factors are the ones that we can be within our control and we can manage. And these, of course, include pollution, some whales, pollution, solid, plastic pollution, and others. Then we have pollution with boats, fishing boats, ships, strikes, and others. We have also issue of overfishing. Overfishing because most of these whales depend on other smaller fish. So when these smaller fish are not there, feeding also becomes a problem. So overfishing is one of the key issues as well. Then hunting and then stranding in nets, suffocation by fishing nets is also one of the elements that is also killing these whales.
Yeah. Also,
whales can be disrupted or disoriented by loud sound, that is noise pollution, active sonic, and also activities of offshore oil and gas, including seismic exploration and others.
Yeah.
And these all contribute to stranding. But last year, it was conclusive that most of the malon-headed whales, that is the dolphins that were landed, were stressed, and a lot of factors could induce stressing. Climate change, increase in temperature can stress whales and disorient them to land on shore. We have issues of dead zones due to reduced oxygen availability in some areas of the ocean from fertilizer-induced algal bloom generation. So these are environmental factors that can help us manage and control the whales that are dying, and then also that are stranding or beaching at our beaches.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Che Amwa, who is the convener of the Fisheries Alliance. I'm going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with business.